General Hospital spoilers for Wednesday, May 27th, tease that. And guys, I cannot lie. The thing that hit me first was not even Rocco running away. It was Lulu realizing too late that she helped create this disaster with her own hands. That is the painful part. Lulu was the one who brought up the fake passport idea. Lulu was the one talking to Rocco about leaving town together. So now that Rocco secretly disappears with Britt without even waiting for her, you can practically feel Lulu's stomach drop through the floor. If you ask me, that is the kind of betrayal that does not just hurt emotionally. It humiliates you too. Because Lulu probably thought she and Rocco were on the same page, only to find out he made the choice without her. And I keep seeing people act like Rocco tricked Lulu, but honestly, I do not think that is the full story here. I think Rocco may have left specifically because he did not want Lulu getting dragged down with him. That changes everything for me. That means this is less about betrayal and more about panic. Rocco probably looked around and realized the situation was getting darker by the second. So instead of risking his mother getting caught in the fallout, he bolts with Britt in secret. But from Lulu's perspective, guys, none of that matters in the moment. All she is going to feel is that sharp sting of being left behind after she risked everything. And this is where Dante absolutely explodes. I can already see it. Dante is going to need somebody to blame because fathers in these situations always look for a target when fear takes over. Ethan becomes that target immediately. Because in Dante's mind, no fake passport means no escape. No escape means Rocco stays put. So Ethan is probably about to get hit with every ounce of Dante's anger all at once. Honestly, I would not even be surprised if Dante gets irrational about it. Fear does that to people. We all know Dante loves his son fiercely. So now that Rocco is gone, logic is probably taking a back seat to rage. And the thing is, Ethan may try defending himself, but I do not think Dante is going to hear any of it. If you ask me, this confrontation is going to feel ugly and personal fast. Dante will probably argue that Ethan handed Rocco the exact tool he needed to disappear. Ethan may counter that Rocco made his own choice. But when somebody's kid is missing, nobody wants philosophical debates about free will. Dante wants somebody to answer for it. That is the emotional core underneath the shouting. But while Dante and Lulu are tearing into the situation emotionally, the real danger keeps getting bigger in the background. Because now it is not just about finding Rocco. It is about finding him before Cullum does. And that right there changes the energy completely. We are not talking about rebellious teenager drama anymore. We are talking about survival. Lulu and Dante can argue with Ethan later. Right now, every second matters. Because if Cullum gets to Rocco first, then this whole situation could spiral into something terrifying. Meanwhile, Sonny is standing over in another corner of this storyline holding a grenade of information in his hand. Sonny now knows Cullum killed Marco, and guys, that is not small information. That is the kind of truth capable of destroying alliances overnight. Sidwell may hate Sonny, but Cullum is also Sonny's enemy now, and I honestly think Sonny is about to weaponize Marco's death to rip Sidwell and Cullum apart from the inside. If you ask me, this feels exactly like Sonny's style. He knows sometimes you do not destroy people directly. You poison the trust between them and let them collapse on each other. Sonny telling Sidwell that Cullum murdered Marco could completely fracture whatever partnership they have. Because once Sidwell realizes Cullum kept something that huge hidden, paranoia starts spreading like gasoline on concrete. One spark and boom. Everything burns. And while all this chaos is unfolding, Ava is walking directly toward Danger 2. I keep coming back to this because Ava and Alexis leaving town to investigate Delilah's identity feels incredibly risky to me. The second characters start digging into dead people and hidden identities in Port Charles, disaster usually follows close behind. That is just how these stories work. Somebody always knows more than they should. Somebody always wants the truth buried. So Ava and Alexis may think they're simply looking for answers, but I think they're stepping into something much more dangerous. Lucas is also sitting in a terrible position right now because Cassius and Pascal are clearly targeting him. And honestly, this part bothers me because the setup feels vicious. They want Sidwell to be the one who destroys Lucas after convincing him Lucas killed Marco. Think about how manipulative that is for a second. They are trying to hand Sidwell a false enemy while keeping themselves clean in the shadows. That is cold-blooded strategy. And poor Lucas probably does not even realize how serious the trap around him is becoming. Now, speaking of Cassius, guys, I really think his storyline with Jocelyn is approaching breaking point territory. Cassius keeps covering up Jocelyn's imprisonment, but the important detail here is that Jocelyn now has Anna's secret weapon. That changes the balance completely. The thing I love about this story is that Jocelyn already failed twice trying to attack Cassius. That matters. It makes the danger feel real. She is not breezing through this like some invincible action hero. She has struggled. She has made mistakes. And because of that, this next attempt feels bigger. Honestly, I keep asking myself whether this is finally the moment Jocelyn turns the tables. Because if you ask me, Cassius is getting too comfortable. Villains always get sloppy once they believe they have total control. And Jocelyn is smart enough to use that arrogance against him. But at the same time, the show already showed us twice that desperation alone is not enough to beat Cassius. So now the question becomes whether Anna's weapon is truly the game changer or whether Jocelyn is about to walk into another dangerous failure. Then we have Carly, and I swear, Carly is starting to smell that something is deeply wrong with Jocelyn's disappearance. Carly talking with Sonny feels important because I think Carly is beginning to realize Jocelyn may not actually be off handling some mission at all. Because let us be real here. Brennan is supposedly unconscious after a stroke. If Jocelyn were truly working some operation, would she really stay away while Brennan is lying helpless in bed? Probably not. That inconsistency is huge to me. And Carly is the kind of person who notices inconsistencies fast. We all know that. She starts pulling at one loose thread and suddenly the whole sweater comes apart. So I think Carly's suspicions are only going to grow stronger from here, especially if Brennan keeps hiding behind this fake medical crisis. Then there is Chase and Joe making moves behind the scenes. And honestly, I am curious who exactly they are hunting. Are they tracking Rocco and Britt already? Because if so, that search could become intense very quickly. Or maybe they discovered something involving Valentine and are preparing some kind of surprise arrest. Either option feels possible right now. But one thing is obvious. Chase and Joe are not wandering around casually. They are actively pursuing something important. And finally, we circle back to Brennan, because his fake stroke situation is becoming harder to maintain every minute. Brennan knows this act cannot continue forever, especially not with Cullum potentially showing up at any moment ready to attack. That is why Nina suddenly becoming Brennan's protector feels important. Nina refusing to inject Brennan with another paralytic says a lot to me. It feels like Nina is starting to pull back from the darker side of this plan. Maybe guilt is creeping in. Maybe fear is creeping in. Either way, Brennan cannot stay frozen in bed forever, pretending to be helpless while danger closes in around him. So when I look at Wednesday's episode as a whole, guys, everything feels like pressure building inside a sealed container. Lulu is drowning in regret. Dante is furious. Sonny is preparing to destroy alliances. Ava and Alexis are chasing dangerous truths. Lucas is being framed. Jocelyn is preparing another desperate strike against Cassius. Carly is starting to suspect the worst. Chase and Joe are closing in on somebody. Brennan's fake condition is cracking apart. And the scary part, it feels like all these storylines are heading toward collision at the exact same time.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.